When I was younger, I used to always believe that a high protein diet or people prioritizing protein in their diet are usually people that really want to increase their muscle mass like significantly. They want to become like big bodybuilders, or it's usually more men that would eat protein, like the big pieces of meat and that type of thing. And women, on the other hand, would mainly only eat a salad and not really prioritize protein. That's kind of, something that I grew up with and really only realized once I studied dietetics, became a dietitian, really, got into the field of exercise, that I started to understand how important protein isn't just for males, but also specifically for females. So, and unfortunately, there is such a massive amount of myths and misperceptions when it comes to protein and muscle building and strength training when it comes to women, that I really thought that today's video can hopefully clarify a few myths and mistakes women make when it comes to consuming protein and, picking their workout routine, for example. So if you think that that is something that you also believe, or you may have some misperceptions or conceptions of protein, I think this video is definitely for you. So before we jump into the video, just a quick introduction. Hello, my name is Melissa Nell. I'm a registered dietitian and I'm part of the Body 20 Nutrition Doctor team. And we do these videos every 2 weeks, so please do follow along, and you are very welcome to send us any questions via WhatsApp or email. All right, so let's talk about protein. So we've spoken about protein quite significantly a lot on this channel before, so please go ahead and have a few, scroll through the videos, you'll see a few videos there. But just to recap quickly, protein is part of the macronutrients, and it is really important in the body when it comes to providing amino acids to the body to do multiple things, mainly to preserve and build lean mass or muscle mass in the body. But it's also really important in hormonal health. It's important in building enzymes and neurotransmitters, and the list just goes on and on and on. Now, what's also really important with lean mass is we see, especially in women, but in men as well, that a lower amount of lean mass or muscle mass in the body is directly correlated to a lower bone density. So that is something that we really need to bear in mind when it comes to choosing our diet, or prioritizing or not prioritizing protein, and also how we incorporate strength training or weight or resistance training into our lifestyles. Because we really need to preserve the bone density, as unfortunately as we get older it does decrease together with our lean mass. As we get older, it just circle of life, it is going to decrease. So we need to actually consciously decide to make sure that we are prioritizing and optimizing our diets and lifestyle to really preserve or even build that lean mass and also the bone density. All right, so the basic myth that I actually want to move to the side as quickly as possible is that if you eat protein, or if you eat a high protein diet as a woman, you are going to become a bodybuilder, and that is not the case. Okay, so protein is really important for multiple things, like as I mentioned already before, and the risk of becoming really bulky, not that there's anything wrong with bodybuilding, but if you are afraid of building too much muscle, you won't necessarily achieve that by just consuming a high protein diet. You would need to consciously really decide to train really hard and consume a really significant amount of protein together with calories from your carbohydrates and fat. So it's going to be a calorie surplus diet together with a very stringent weight training program. It takes a lot of excessive hard work and dedication to become really big in terms of muscle building for women, if you want to maybe go into bodybuilding or the fitness or physique sphere, for example. So I have massive respect for those people, because it takes a lot of work and a lot of dedication and self-discipline. So generally, if you are just prioritizing protein in your diet, you won't necessarily bulk up too much, so you don't need to be afraid of that. So that's the first myth that I want to put to the side, and so that's really important to bear in mind. So women should really be prioritizing protein just like men should, but generally we see that women don't, mainly because it's just the way that we were brought up, or we often also want to maybe, for example, slim down or lose weight, so we tend to eat very little and then often only choose things like salad and maybe a little bit of carbs and that type of thing, and not really prioritizing protein. So it is really important to do that. I see a lot of females where they would eat breakfast and it's really either eat it or skip it and not have a lot of protein with it. So it's maybe just a fruit on the go or something like that. So you can swap that with a protein fruit smoothie or maybe some eggs for breakfast. So that's a good quality protein. You can have a protein powder in the smoothie from a whey or plant-based source if you are vegan or vegetarian. And then moving on to lunch, if you are going to have a salad because you want to cut your calories, make sure that there is protein present in that meal, because that's going to really help with providing the body with the amino acids to really build that lean mass. And why is it important to have lean mass or muscle mass? Because it increases your metabolism, which is going to help with increasing your energy expenditure, which in turn helps to burn fat. So that's going to help maintain your body composition. So we do need muscles in the body, and that's why Body 20 training is so effective, because it actually builds muscle, which will increase your metabolism, which will therefore burn more fat in the long term. Moving on to dinner, still managing to have that balanced meal. So look out for the protein, carbohydrates, and fats on your plate. Something that I found really is helpful for me, specifically if I find that, it's a really busy day and I can't manage to get, to all the protein portions that I need throughout the day, because we do see with research it's really effective to provide the body with some protein throughout the whole day and not load one massive amount of protein all at once, because the body can only kind of use a certain amount of protein at once. So trying to spread it out throughout the day is actually really more effective, is to opt for something like a branched chain amino acid or an essential amino acid drink. So nowadays there's really some nice products on the market that are calorie free, and that's really a nice way to flavor your water also if you're struggling to consume water. But it's really just providing your body with that consistent supply of a bit of amino acids throughout the day. If you see that you're not going to have snacks in between your meals, or maybe you are someone that just eats 2 meals a day, for example, then you can maybe have something like this in between, so that you're really just supplying your body with some form of amino acids throughout the day to maintain that supply, so that we can promote muscle building and also recovery and so forth. The last really amazing thing about protein is it actually increases satiety, meaning that it's going to make you feel fuller for longer. So adding it to your meals is actually going to help, because of course we need the protein and the amino acids, but it's actually going to help you eat less and keep you fuller for longer. So you might end up eating less calories in the long term, which will therefore help with the fact that you maybe want to slim down and lose some fat. So that's it from me for today. I hope this has been helpful. Let me know if you have any questions, and I'll see you in the next one.